storming bracket!
What's going on, everyone? So welcome to my latest video. This is, of course, my review for the 2021 film Benedetta. So a little bit of backstory about Benedetta. I was going on the AMC A-List app, scrolling through movies, because, you know, obviously I try to see movies Thursday nights, early screenings. Scrolling through, I was like, hey, maybe Come On, it's going to be playing in theaters near me, and I saw that it was. I was like, oh, cool, so I'll see this. But then I saw the title Benedetta, and I was like, what is this? I was like, a foreign film? A French foreign film? Read the premise, which I'll give it to you right now. It's about a 17th century nun who suffers from visions dealing with obviously the religious undertones that she's dealing with because she's a nun, but as well as her sexuality. I read that premise and I read the title. The title sounds interesting. And then the biggest thing is that I saw it was directed by Paul Verhoeven. That's right. The same director that did RoboCop, Total Recall, Starship Troopers. So yeah, I said to myself, okay, Come on, you're going to have to wait several days because this is the movie I'm going to be watching on Thursday. And sure enough, I saw it. There was only 3 other people in the theater. Again, there's been like no marketing for this movie, I feel like. Maybe there's been some festival buzz, but I, again, was not aware about this movie until a couple of days ago. And I'm glad that it got brought to my attention. I really am, just by a whim, because this is a really good film. It's one of those films that it starts off slowly and you're not quite sure 100% what to make of it. You just know that you're intrigued by it. But as the movie progresses and it gets into that third act, that's when everything just kind of clicks and you realize that you're in for an experience. It's not a film for everyone, that's for sure. I'm just going to get it right off the bat because it's very graphic in terms of, you know, dealing with sexuality, violence. And then there's also just a lot of stuff that for this time period really were hard to watch given the fact that it was, you know, stuff towards women that was kind of like, oh my goodness. Like there's one device, not even going to get into it, but there's one device that's utilized in this movie and they don't show anything, but the implications, it's like, oh gosh. But I think that the graphic nature is kind of what makes it interesting. But it's also at the same time something that will make a lot of viewers get turned off because not a lot of people are, you know, obviously open-minded. But if you are an open-minded individual, then I would definitely say that this movie is going to be right up your alley because even if you don't like it, there's a lot of stuff going on that makes you think. And thinking, obviously, something that's a good thing. And I definitely liked about this movie in terms of themes and messages that it was tackling a lot of things. And in doing so, it's hard to chew a lot of it. I mean, again, this is something that, let's face it, is a lot. I mean, I grew up in a religious household. And I know I've said this before in terms of, you know, other reviews. But when I watch a movie about religion, especially the way it's depicted here, it really puts things into perspective. And again, not going to spoil anything, but I thought that was really fascinating for myself in dealing with this movie. I also really liked the filmmaking. Cinematography is really good. I think that it's very colorful. It's going to be a shame that it's not going to get a 4K release, but it will still look pretty good in terms of Blu-ray. The sound design, it's very subtle, and that also goes with the score. The score is pretty much non-existent. When it does crop up, it is really good, but I would say towards the end of this movie, there was like pretty much no score whatsoever. So it's a very muted sound design in terms of also, obviously, the score. But by no means is it bad. Again, this is one of those things where if you go into this movie watching it and expecting, how should I put it, a boring movie, I don't think that you're going to get that. I think what you're instead going to get is a movie that's always engaging and always willing to question you as viewers. And that's something that I think is very important because a lot of times I feel like a filmmaker isn't really willing to take risks. But Benedetta is definitely a movie that takes risks. There's no question about that. And it's very unpredictable, too, in terms of how the story and plot unfold, which I greatly appreciated. So, again, this movie, is it perfect? No. But it's depiction of sexuality. It's depiction of faith. It's depiction of just how things were back then and also the contrast that as to how similar it is today as well. These are stuff that really intrigues me, and that's why I personally really liked Benedetta. I got a lot out of it. I really did. So much so that it's not enough to get it down into 5 minutes, but I would say check this movie out. Because seriously, it's a very underrated movie. It's going to go under the radar for a lot of people, and it's just not really fair to it. Because again, it's a movie that is really good, and you know, I definitely would recommend it. And that's why, for me personally, Benedetta, I will be giving a 4.25 to 5-star rating, which goes like a hot sauce rating. It's a good old Louisiana pure crystal hot sauce. So yeah, I like Benedetta for sure. I do look forward to watching a second, third, fourth, many more times. But guys, again, thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Let me know your thoughts. Benedetta, what did you think about it? Did you like it? Did you not? Let me know down below. And as always, don't forget subscription, notification bell, and I'll catch you guys later.